They say never wear stripes, always wear plain when you're doing television. But this is, I can do what I want. This is my thing. Does it make a difference? Is it making a, I'm not dancing. I'm seeing if the stripes make a difference. Now I'm dancing. It's very subtle. See how this is? Just checking the stripes, and this is dancing.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
It's a little... Today's story is about how I was a late bloomer. It's a painful story. No, it's fun. So here's the thing. I used to be... I was a late bloomer. Like I didn't grow till much later in life, and I didn't mature till even later than that.
It's too sad to be funny, unusable.
But I used to be short and skinny. Like I'm tall and skinny now. I used to be short and skinny. I weighed next to nothing. I was in a car seat till I was 16, and that's tough. You know, especially on date night. You know, having a good time. Thanks for driving. That was me putting on the baby seat.
It's mine.
Anyway.
I always wondered if you hit a mime, does he make a sound?
So the driver's test, by the way, I remember, because I was still tiny, taking this driver's test.
Hey, who's driving that car?
And it was just so weird, like, yeah, I'm ready to be an adult now. It's like everyone around me's like, no, you're not. You're totally not. You should hang out for a little while. Maybe not go take this test.
I don't test well.
But here's the thing about the driver's license. I guess this is the best example of me being a late bloomer so that you can understand. So on my driver's license, when I got my driver's license at 16 years old, my height was listed at 5'6", because that's how tall I was when I got my license. 5'6", and I grew to like 6'3". Well, I'm 6'3" now. Honestly, at my peak, I was probably closer to 6'4", 6'3.5", 6'4".
You shrunk 5 inches. Oh.
But I think I'm just kind of shrinking as I get older. But still over 6'3". But I was 5'6" at 16. 16 years old, like that. That's a lot of growth. And it happened like in the last, like I remember those years that, like grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, I was growing fast. I know. By the way, I know I don't look like I'm 6'3". People are always, or 6'4". People will see me on stage doing stand up, and they're like, "I thought you were like 6'9". I have a really small head, so it just looks like I'm further away.
Just trying to understand.
I thought you were 6'9" and just way further away from the stage than everyone else. No, I'm 6'3", and this is my small head. But I grew so much, so fast. Like I have stretch marks on my legs from where it grew. I have stretch, like I can't wear a bikini anymore. It's frustrating.
Okay, well that's not true.
I'm kidding, but what's weird is I have actually more on my right leg. I have more stretch marks, like quite a few more than on my left. And I was thinking about that the other day as I was putting together this, when I was, I'll be talking about being a late bloomer or whatever. And I was like, does that mean like one grew faster than the other? So it grew. Was I lopsided at some point and I just didn't even realize this? I was growing so fast. I was on a tilt. There's a period of time all I could do was walk in circles and I could not figure out why. That's why. This is because my right leg grew faster than my left leg.
That's ridiculous.
My left leg maybe never caught up. I don't know. It's possible. I'm just saying.
Would have gone further, but starting to run a bit lopsided.
But yeah, so I got my driver's license when I was, like, seriously, I was so immature. Voice was still cracking. I didn't shave. I was, like, I remember seeing adults, contemporary adults, shaving, and I'd be like, oh, I can't wait till I can do that.
What's wrong with your voice?
Like I was, do you know what I'm saying? Like it's second year in college is when I was like, hey, I could probably, this peach fuzz is getting long. I could probably give that a trim. Like that's how bad it was. It wasn't even.
You're not a man.
I wasn't even shaving properly until we got married. Like we got married and I still didn't really have to shave. I had several beards growing at once though, because it got kind of patchy after a while. So, but yeah, I didn't even really have to shave. And as a result, I'm bad at shaving. Like I'm the worst. I cut myself shaving so much. I use Neosporin as aftershave.
I think you made that whole thing up.
Let's just heal this up. Just want the bleeding to stop. It's all in around the head, so there's a lot of blood. It's harder to finish shaving too once you cut yourself to begin with, right? I just gotta finish. If I can just a couple more.
It's off the blood of my body. It's rushing to my head.
All right, I'm getting a little too silly.
It's about time you realized it.
But that's because I'm immature. I asked my wife at one point in time, I was like, how old do you think I was when I was mature enough to be married? Like, how old do you think? Because I had a number in my head. And she was like, I don't know, like 35? I got married, I was 23 when I got married. And I was like, how mature do you think I... And she was like if when you were 35, you would have been mature enough.
The numbers don't lie.
12 years after we got married, I was mature enough to be married. And here's the thing, the funniest thing about it, I had the same number in my head. I was like, yeah, that's what I was thinking too, around 35. Like I was just immature. I was just a late bloomer. And I told my kids, I was trying to warn them. You know what I mean? I tried to warn my kids. I was like, it's gonna be rough. Like you, trust me, you're gonna be a late bloomer.
But we're a family of late bloomers.
You know, try to console them a little bit if they, like, I know you got cut from the varsity team, but just wait till you come walking up when you're 32 years old and you're way taller, okay? And you're starting to shave. Then who's gonna wish they had you on their varsity team?
Actually think that that's funny.
But yeah, it's a key part of who I am, though. A guy who is a real late bloomer. It's extremely. It was a huge part of my identity. I'm just, even as a comic, a working stand-up comic, I was just like, yeah, I'm immature. I have some growing up to do, mentally, physically, emotionally. Emotionally especially, I cry a lot. This is the 5th take of this video. Because every time we talk about it, it just does things to me.
Now that's what I call acting!
I'm kidding. But yeah, it's tough being it's tough being a skinny kid. It's tough being the short, skinny kid. It's also really tough being a late bloomer when you're in high school. But look at me now. Now I'm old. It was like I just barely got a full beard. I had like 1 year of a full beard before it turned gray. Like it was like, that doesn't seem fair. I was a late bloomer and I'm an early ager.
You're always bragging about the business.
Now I'm getting old way too fast. And I would say that's not fair. But I'm ending these videos on a more positive note than I used to.
Think positive, think positive.
And I'm glad for every one of those years. How's that for positive? I'm positive this is going to be the worst video I've done. Anyway, subscribe below, hit the notification bell. This stupid cushion is squeaking. It makes it sound like I have horrible gas. I mean, I do, but I don't want it to sound that way.